We're going to be jumping into our middleweight bodybuilding division now, starting off with Mr. Nick Wright.
So this was my official retirement show. I am officially retired from the stage. This is the last time you'll ever see NWB on the stage again, and I'm very happy with this decision now. I'm not leaving burnt out or frustrated. I'm leaving in awe and respecting and in love with bodybuilding again. I can't believe we're finally here in the sun drinking margaritas, man. I felt like it would never happen again. And better yet, I got another book of Stephen King's short stories, which is always the move with sun and margaritas. In Cabo, Mexico, I had Full Dark No Stars on the beach with margaritas, a collection of his short stories. WrestleMania in Florida, drinking by the resort pool, margaritas, and I had a collection of his short stories. And now we're here in Mohegan post-show, short stories, margaritas. Perfection. Some semblance of balance getting started back up this week after all the cheap food. And a little bit of fun. And what's crazy is I was in this store like literally 5 times a week sometimes because I was just running through diet food and always forgot something I had to get, greens or chicken or whatever. So like we lived in these grocery stores all prep, and every prep I'd come here with this cart and I'd be just drooling and fantasizing about all the shit I couldn't eat. And this is my first time in this store not on a diet. But I'm actually very well fed right now, which is a good move. So I'm not thinking with my gut. I'm actually staying pretty conservative. But this is fun. This is like, I've dreamt of this day. Boom, this is it, the big day. Look at this, we got Chipotle ready to go. We got wine on deck for afterwards. And we have the video of all videos pulled up on the big screen over here. My official competition video, an hour-long cinematic presentation I have not even seen yet. It is up on my YouTube channel, and I have not seen a single lick of it. This was filmed and edited by Canada's own Mark Hume. I think I'm pronouncing his name horribly wrong. But Mark is amazing, super professional, and he shot and edited all of it. So this is the first time I've ever put up a video that I have not seen a single bit of the footage of myself. So we are so damn excited. We love documentaries.
Yes, we do.
I'm obsessed with watching documentaries, like Noisy Atlanta, amazing.
We watched
the Concrete
together.
documentaries. I love anything that's like phenomenal filming. And now I actually get to watch like a professional documentary on my own last and final bodybuilding show. Like, that's so damn cool. I'm fucking excited, man, because I don't even know what to expect. I don't know how the fuck this thing's gonna start. I don't know what he put in here. So, hope you guys enjoyed it. Give me no spoilers. Welcome to my man cave, man. This is where I keep the trophy shelf from everything in my bodybuilding and powerlifting career, everything in weightlifting, basically everything that kind of symbolizes what I have today, career-wise and as a life in general. It's interesting, man. Like, I kept a lot of this stuff put away for a long time because in my head I was like, you know, don't live in the past. So I kept it just in boxes and storage at my parents' house, just kind of forgot about it. And then I finally bought this place and I was like, you know what? Inadvertently, every one of these trophies to me symbolizes a time where I went way out of my comfort zone and pursued something that was a passion and a dream to me. And B, these actually, at least inadvertently, represent why I'm able to even own this house, like why I'm able to live the life that I lead now. Like all of my success is attributed to this, at least indirectly, which is pretty insane to me. And a quick little story for you guys that I think a lot of people should hear is when I first started bodybuilding as a tiny ass freshman, 104 pounds, 11.5-inch arms. I went to the clickiest, smallest little backwoods school in the world, and everyone found out I wanted to be a bodybuilder. And this was before the age of social media. This was in '06, so this is when doing weird things wasn't as widely accepted and fitness was definitely not accepted. I got made fun of by everybody. I'd be standing in a lunch line, a girl would turn around and be like, I heard you're bodybuilding? I think I have more muscle than you do. And that would start a chain reaction to everybody making fun of me. I ended up having teachers ragging on me, fucking teachers, which sticks with you. It's fucked up. So if you're a teacher, little kids can be assholes like I was, but just be very careful what you say to a young kid at that age. Got so bad to the point where I was at a party once and I said, I'm tired, I didn't get a lot of sleep. A little passing comment like that. I instantly got chain reaction of everyone making fun of me and reaming me like he was probably up flexing his nuts in the mirror. Crazy. Fortunately, I had a very supportive father who instilled confidence in me, and I just stuck to what I loved, which was bodybuilding. I didn't cave in, and fast forward till now, I'm definitely doing better than 99% of the people that were making fun of me, and 99% is me being modest. So that's not to brag and it's not to whine and complain. That's simply to remind you, if you guys are going through something that seems impossible right now, and especially if you're getting made fun of or knocked down or not supported for it, fuck everyone else's opinion and stick to it. So I wanted to really quickly, as I retire from bodybuilding officially, my last show being summer shredding, wanted to quickly run through a little, just a quick rundown, man, of the old memories, of the old relics that started everything that is NWB today, because the sport's been insane. So first show we had going on was '06. I was 15 years old. This was the Gate City Championships, INBF, I believe it was. I was 15. It was only 7 months or so after I started bodybuilding, and I was definitely not ready to step on stage, but I was just blindly confident, and I'm glad I was, because it was an amazing experience. It was a tiny little show, like 30 competitors. I was hooked. I was addicted. I got second in teens out of 2 teens, and I got best posing award, which is pretty damn cool. I do take pride in that. Posing is so important in bodybuilding, and that's one of my strong suits. After that, I went on to do, in 2007, my first and last NPC show. This is the NPC Rhode Island, and that's where these bad boys are from. And I got first place in the teens division, second place in the lightweight men's open division. The lightweight winner ended up winning the overall. He looked amazing. That's where I met Evan Centopani. That was the first big pro bodybuilder I ever saw in person. It was 4 weeks before he went on to win his pro card at the 2007 Men's Nationals. He was guest posing there, huge, shredded. I was blown away. That inspired me even more to continue bodybuilding. And by this point, I was wrestling, and they were starting to conflict. And I was considering quitting wrestling because I wanted to pursue bodybuilding even harder. I took '08 off to bulk. I got up to 142, which was astronomical for my small little ass. Came back in '09, my senior year, and crushed it. And this is when things got awesome for me. The first show I did in '09 was a big regional show in OCB, Spirit of America. It was a big show, regional. I won the teens. It was my first big win in the competitive teen class, which I was amped about. And I went on to get 5th place in the men's division, which I thought was really fucking cool because it was a big men's division. And again, I was 17, so I didn't think I was even gonna place. So to get top 5 in trophy was awesome at a regional show like that. A month later, I continued dieting. And at this point, I had been dieting for about 6 months total. I think it was crazy. And I went on, I was 145 at Spirit of America, dieted down to 140 for the Rhode Island State Championships. I wish they had a Mr. Rhode Island still. You know, they got rid of all the Misters. How cool is a Mr. show? Like, I wish it was Mr. Rhode Island. That would have been such a cool title. But that's where this bad boy came from. And a fun fact, man, I was always like enthralled in trophy shelves and cases. I don't know why. My dad had a ton from his marathon days, and I just would see them at schools, and for some reason I always just thought trophies were just so damn cool. Like I was always like, I wish I could have a bunch of shiny trophies for something I enjoyed doing. I got some trophies for like sports in school here and there. They're long gone. I don't care about those. I wanted something to show what I loved. So I was amped when I finally got one of these, like these big, tall, like this is like the cliche classic trophy. I don't think they even really make trophies like these anymore. But this was dope. This was first place in the teens division. Again, another competitive division. And 5th place again in the men's, and that was a stacked men's class. Interesting story, that was the end of my senior year at 17, just about to turn 18, and I thought I was done competing. Graduated high school, thought I was going to get into custom car audio. Shout out to Steve Mead, I love this channel, he's the one who got me into YouTube. Me and my friend were already doing custom car audio installs for people at school to make money, and that's what I thought my thing was going to be, just like work full time, and set up this shop and get that going. My friends talked me into doing one last show. It was the IMBF Monster Mash. It was a big ass regional show, huge, biggest show in the Northeast, I believe, for natural shows at the time. And this show had been on my radar since the first show. In 06, this show, my first show, was done just a couple of weeks before the Monster Mash, because it's an annual thing. And they even were giving competitors who were competing in this one like a discount to enter the Monster Mash. And it was too big and scary for me to do at that time. But 4 years later, I entered it. This is where everything kicked off. This was the fall of 2009. So I had just turned 18 a couple of months prior. This would have been like when I started my first semester of college, had I gone to school. And I dove into one last show. I went on to win first in the teens, and I got second in a stacked men's class, and I was so amped about that. I was so proud of that. Second place at 18 in a stacked men's division. I think there were like 12 guys in like the first call out or something like that. And this show was where everything kicked off. I turned my MySpace at the time into like a fitness modeling profile, got booked for my first paid photo shoot, flown out, that was a first. I met RTN at this show, they had a little table there. I went and purchased their stuff and sold myself to the CEOs. Like, I run a multi-million view video series, I'd love to work with you guys. You know, at the time I had maybe 2 million views, I don't know, the vault wasn't even out yet. And I ended up getting my first sponsor. So I got my first paid photo shoot, first paid sponsor, and I started the YouTube channel. The Eating Big series in 09, where I drove to Dunkin' Donuts, that was like the off season before this prep began. So this started my YouTube channel, and I think right around the show is also when I got YouTube partnership and started making money from YouTube, which is pretty damn crazy.
Now, I know you guys are looking at me like I'm crazy, a bodybuilder getting Dunkin'.
So that kicked off everything you see now, NWB, man, for real. And then I went on to do the Vault series leading up to my final teen show. This was the Natural Mr. Olympia. Now, you guys have never heard me ever say I got screwed over in any sort of a competition, right? Even competitions where you guys all said I got screwed over. I'm just never one to claim that, just because I don't think it's productive to say that, and I don't think it helps anything, and I think it sounds whiny. This Olympia was the one and only show I genuinely got screwed over in. Genuinely. But that was still fun as fuck, man. That was a cool, big ass international show out in Reno, Nevada. It's still going on. It's hosted in Las Vegas, Nevada now. And it's a big deal. You get there and you see all these different countries with all their different country jackets and flags, and it's so fucking cool. So that was a hell of an experience. I documented the Vault around that. Everyone knows the Vault. That was crazy how much that blew up back then. And that kind of started like YouTube fitness for what it is today. Like, that really kind of started like the vlogging you see in YouTube fitness, which is pretty damn cool. That sparked off a ton of cool successful things too. Like, that got me in the Providence Journal, which is like the New York Times of Rhode Island, which in the grand scheme is not that cool because Rhode Island's tiny. But listen, I grew up here all my life. The Providence Journal was the paper we all saw. And so to get on the cover of it was fucking really cool. I had a photographer follow me around the YMCA. You can see it had the old orange walls. That is the first gym I ever started at. If you guys saw that video, my sanctuary, my gym sanctuary, that was that gym. So we had a photographer from the paper come and follow me around there. That led to my first and probably last magazine cover ever with World Physique magazine. This was really fucking cool. This made me a little piece of history. I was the first drug-tested teen bodybuilder on the cover of a magazine ever, which is fucking cool. And that was 2010, I believe. Can't believe that was almost a decade ago. World Physique magazine. I remember going to some Barnes & Noble's like store, Brooks, one of those stores, and picking up right off the shelf. It was such a cool experience. I have my full page spread from that same magazine here. This was another local newspaper sports section I got the cover of, which I thought was cool. And there's like a few other magazines that I've been in that are like framed and in the back somewhere. I didn't feel the need to hang all of them up. Like, I got in Flex magazine, which was really cool. But I just wanted really just like the big heavy hitter highlights here. So after 2010, I took a little bit of time off, came back in 2012 at 21. I just turned 21. In fact, this show, the Mr. Muscle Beast Championships, this one was exactly 7 years ago as of Summer Shredding. Literally, Summer Shredding fell 1 week before this one, 7 years later, which is pretty crazy. And I got third place in this in the men's open. Nothing much to say about that. It was not a tested show. The first place guy looked really sick, and then I really got burnt out of bodybuilding, and I became really bitter towards it, man. Like, it had ruined relationships for me. I was getting really bitter, and I ended up leaving it really bitterly, as you guys know, and you guys all know this story by now if you've been following along. That's why it was so cool to come back 7 years later and re-fall back in love with it with a healthier, balanced mind. and that is summer shredding, my very last show ever, which is pretty cool, you know. And like I said, the placing, second place, sucks, but really it was just the whole experience of doing a prep, being able to document it, and getting a really cool documentary around it. It was just unreal, man. Like, the amount of love this generated, I felt like I was in the vault days again. It was insane. I had powerlifters that I respect shouting me out for watching this documentary. I had UFC fighters commenting on my Instagram. Like, it's amazing how much bodybuilding and NWB go hand in hand, and how much it just resonates with people. It's nuts. It's surreal. That is the bulk of the bodybuilding life, man. And really quick, some other stuff hanging up here. We have my wrist straps that I hit big bench PRs in, man. These were from Slingshot, a gift from way back. They ended up breaking. But man, like, I thought this was so cool. You guys all know my story of benching. If you haven't seen it, go watch my life goal, my 405 bench press video. Bench is always a super weak spot for me. Always an uphill battle. And I finally hit that 4 plates completely natural, which was like awesome. And I hit a bunch of other milestones here with these reps. I hit 370 for the first time ever. I hit a 385 bench for the first time ever. 405 bench for the first time ever. Some rep PRs, 335 for 6 for the first time ever. A set of 8 with 315 for the first time ever, and I even got like a 546 competition squat in these bad boys. So I just thought that was like a cool little memento. For powerlifting, man, not a whole lot to say. You guys have seen a lot of that recently. I have all my medals here, a lot of USAPL meets. I've done like 5 or 6 of them. Went on to win a couple of local ones, did well in regionals, had a lot of fun, man. This is probably the coolest fucking thing I have on my entire trophy shelf. The Super Total belt, man. This was so fucking dope. I wanted this so bad. This was the Super Total, which is powerlifting and Olympic lifting combined, so 5 lifts, and I won it by the skin of my teeth. And this was so fucking cool, because belts are just so official, man. You see them in WWE, you see them in boxing, like the heavyweight championship belts. So like, to have like a fucking belt, especially for something as legit as a Super Total, is so dope. First place in my deadlift meet, which was done right before summer shredding began, mixing powerlifting and bodybuilding. Yeah, man, and that's it. The only side, like I said, I'm obsessed with trophies. I don't know why, they just look cool. This was always the one I wanted, these tall, like, statue ones. I got those. I got a belt, which is fucking so dope. I feel like a boxer. I feel like Mike Tyson. Got a cool ass statue. I have the only style trophy I don't have, it eluded me, man, was the cup. Those big cups. And the overall winner of summer shredding got a cup, so I was kind of hoping I'd win the overall, but you know, maybe one day we'll get a cup for something else. But that's it, man. That is the trip down memory lane, and each one of these, to me, again, it's all how you look at it. You can look at this as living in the past, you can throw it in the box, whatever. I did that for a while, but the way I look at it, man, is these represent success to me. These represent the fact that I was able to buy my first property at 25. These represent the fact that I'm living on my own time schedule, not for a boss anymore. And they definitely represent me stepping out of my comfort zone and chasing something I was passionate about. So I appreciate you guys so much for the support. Thank you. Hope you enjoy this trip down memory lane, and see you in a future vid with the next endeavor.